I paid off my friend's debt. Then found out he'd been lying the entire time I've known Daniel since high school. We'd been through everything together. Graduation, first jobs, breakups, even being roommates for a year. So when he called me one night sounding terrified, I listened. He said he owed $8,000 in medical bills after an emergency surgery. Debt collectors were calling him every day, and he was afraid his credit would be ruined. I felt awful for him. I had some savings set aside for a new car, but I figured I could wait. A week later, I transferred him the money. He cried on the phone and promised he'd pay me back little by little. For the next few months, everything seemed normal. He'd occasionally send me $100 or $200 and apologize that it wasn't more. I told him not to worry. Then one Saturday, I bumped into his cousin at a coffee shop. We got to talking, and somehow Daniel came up. His cousin casually mentioned how lucky Daniel was that his surgery had been completely covered by insurance. I laughed. What surgery? He looked confused. The one last year. My stomach dropped. I didn't say anything, but as soon as I got home, I started looking back through our messages. Daniel had never once shown me a hospital bill. No paperwork, no receipts, just texts saying he was desperate. A few days later, I invited him over for dinner. Halfway through the meal, I asked him a simple question. What hospital were you treated at? He froze. Then he named one on the other side of town. I already knew it wasn't true. His cousin had told me exactly where he'd been treated. I quietly asked, so, what did you actually spend the money on? He stared at the table for almost a minute. Finally, he admitted everything. There were no medical bills. He'd used most of the money to pay off gambling debts. The rest had gone toward a vacation with his girlfriend. He said he lied because he knew I'd never lent him money for gambling. He was right. I asked him to leave. Over the next year, he repaid every cent. Not because he suddenly became honest, because I took him to small claims court. The judge ruled entirely in my favor. We haven't spoken since. Losing $8,000 hurt. Losing someone I thought was my best friend hurt even more. Sometimes the biggest debt isn't financial. It's the trust someone can never repay.